The First Omen is a supernatural horror film. It is a prequel to The Omen, the 1976 film that starred Gregory Peck, and this is the sixth film in the Omen franchise. And this stars Nell Tiger Free as Margaret Dano, who is an American sent to Rome to work at a church. And let me just tell you, this is something that you don't expect at all from a film like this. You think to yourself, oh, it's a prequel horror. Prequel horrors are never that good. That's true, they aren't. But I will say this, and maybe might get some slack for it, but who cares? This is my opinion. I think this is the best horror prequel of all time. And I mean that literally. The story is very, very fascinating, especially Nell Tiger Free, who gives a crazy performance as this character, and she brings a dynamic that you don't see anywhere else in a horror prequel film. Yes, you have prequels, requels, sequels, resequels, requels, or whatever you want to call them in every different genre, but for the horror genre, having a prequel set to a classic film from the 70s that still stands the test of time and is one of my top 10 horror films, this film did that. It's directed by Arkasha Stevenson. It runs for 119 minutes long and it had a budget of $30 million. This is a 2-hour movie, but it doesn't feel like a 2-hour movie. And the reason I say that is because the imagery, the homage, and the Easter eggs that are given into this film from the First Omen is really, really good. You can't look away at all. There are some scenes that make you go, what the hell was that? And what the hell just happened? Especially one scene that I did not expect, and it's will probably stay with you for a really long time, especially the way it was filmed, done. I want to say there were practical effects that were done into this. Maybe some aspects of CGI, a little bit if you pay attention closely, but not really a lot. Now, the character of Margaret moves to Italy, as I stated, to be a nun and work at a orphanage with orphan girls to stay at this church. It's really kind of, hard to follow at first, but then once it gets going, you understand the aspect of how the story comes together. Now, with that, she then starts seeing strange images on walls and some other odd behavior by nuns that are also around her, and just the other actors and actresses that are in this, like, kind of know what's going on and she doesn't know what's going on. But as everything's unraveling, it's wow. I'm never a fan, but it's creepy and sadistic when a oh my god, a character looks into the camera in a horror film and just stares blank, like a catatonic state, and just doesn't do anything. There's a lot of that in this. There are some images that will leave you unsettling. Maybe some might find this controversial of a movie, but it's been a while since we had a controversial movie like this, set in the confines of this kind of dynamic and genre, so to speak. Kind of the elder nuns and the priests start noticing certain things happening, but they're not explaining what's happening until the very end, which is mind-blowingly interesting and insane. This is a phenomenal, phenomenal horror film. Like, I went into it expecting nothing, and the previews were really, really interesting and good, especially the trailers. But with this, holy shit, like, this is beyond amazing. Even the production is gorgeous. The scenery, the set design, the tracking shots, the cinematography, just the up angle shots, the ways certain camera angles are done, the agony you see in the characters, especially Margaret going through certain things, and the emotion that this film has. You will leave the theater like wanting to be exorcised of your demons and just shake everything out of you, because it's been a while since a film like this has done that. Probably for the older generation, it was The Exorcist, and then maybe The Omen in 1976. But the way you're sitting there watching this film, go into it knowing no expectations other than, oh, it's the First Omen. We see the child or whatever it is. There's more to that. There's more aspect to it. There's more story to it. But knowing this is a 2-hour movie, as I stated, you don't even blink an eye, and it's, you know, it's like, wow, because you're so enamored with the story. It's absolutely mind-blowingly brilliant. I'm this is I want to this actually is Arkasha Stevenson first directorial debut film. I'm very curious to see what this director does more next. And this was released by 20th Century Studios. So, I mean, a lot of sinister conspiracies are happening to bring up the birth of the Antichrist, but it's a film where you want to know what this is. This is a true horror film for the horror fans, the horror lovers out there who are big, big fans of the first Omen. Excuse me, the very first movie, The Omen, in 1976, starring Gregory Peck. That was a phenomenal film. A lot of holy shit moments. They one-upped it and it played homage to from that film into this film. I really highly recommend it. You won't be disappointed at all. I had a really good time with it, and I'll probably see it a few more times. But it has that feeling of uneasiness, which you want in a horror film, and a prequel that is probably the best of all time. And I mean, horror films so far are really, really putting out the A+ effort of being really, really good. And it's been a long time since horror films have been really, really good, especially originality and the aspect of what can you do with that. Maybe now, if you do a horror prequel, they will take ideas from the first Omen and use that method to make it more interesting, more sinister, more weird, more unsettling. If a horror film, psychological horror film, I want to say, is sinister, sadistic, makes you feel uneasy after you watch it, and makes you just want to, especially that one scene that's in this, you will be a very happy horror fan. I had a blast with this. I love it. And once this movie's over, it'll take you a while to bring you back to reality and how the deception is of what the hell you just watched. In a good way, however. For me, The First Omen gets 5 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about The First Omen. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What was your favorite scene? What was your least favorite scene? Do you think that this movie was enough for being 2 hours? Do you think it should have been less? Did you think that this is a good prequel? What is the greatest horror prequel of all time? And do you think that they'll make more films after this? And do you think that that one scene still bothers you? And was this movie unsettling for you as it was for me in a good way? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. And be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new review videos on my channel. I will see you all in the next review video. I'm Mr. Filmstock, and thank you so much for tuning in.